Hi everyone, Marco here, and welcome to this new portfolio update for May 2020. So first, let me tell you why I didn't publish portfolio updates during the past couple of months. It's all linked, of course, to the crisis due to the virus. So basically, the fluctuations of my stock portfolio were quite high. It was really changing, day to day in terms of value. Also, it was not completely clear that if companies will continue paying dividends, at really the heart of the crisis. So I didn't want to make a portfolio update with some, data, and then the day after it kind of all changes. So I really wanted to wait a bit until it stabilizes. So I can really tell you what happened for my portfolio in terms, because of the virus, and tell you what I will do in the future. So now I feel more confident to make a new portfolio update as things are starting to stabilize a little bit. Also, I had, personally problems to get back from the travel that we were making back to Europe. So that also didn't help at all to publish a new update. But it's all okay now. I'm back to doing those updates, and I can't wait actually to dive into this one. So a lot of things changed, as you will see inside this portfolio update. Mainly, my stock portfolio, of course, took a hit because of the virus crisis, but it's not that bad for the dividends. So I will show that to you in a moment when we get on the computer. And also, as I announced in a previous video that I published maybe a few weeks ago, I'm completely changing my strategy in terms of crowdlending. So as you know, I had a lot of platforms on my portfolio, probably over 20. And I really felt like it was not the right thing to do, not only for me, because I prone to have a very passive income generating portfolio. And having 20 platforms and adding more, right? Because I was making those reviews on all those platforms. I felt that it was really not the right thing to do in the future, okay? And so therefore I will really focus on maybe, 8 platforms in total, maximum on my portfolio. Really make better reviews for those platforms. Let you know what happened with the platform I actually have in my portfolio. Not some platform I'm just adding to the portfolio, to make a review, to test it, and then not to add any money, but still the investment is there. And it's generating, just a few bucks every month. I feel like this is not what I want to do and not what I want to teach on this channel. So therefore, I will be reducing drastically my platforms, my investment in platforms in the coming months to focus, as I said, on a very restricted number of platforms. And I will be only talking about those in the future on this channel. If you want to try other platforms, feel free, but that will be the one I will be focusing on and really monitoring so that I really have, again, a portfolio that I can really show you as an example and not something that is fragmented in above 20 platforms. So now I will go to the computer and I will actually show you what happened during the past months in terms of my overall portfolio, stock market portfolio, and of course the crowdlending portfolio as well. So let's go now to the computer. Alright, so as for all my portfolio updates that I've been publishing in the last months, I will be using TrackInvest, which is my app to track all my portfolio in terms of crowdlending platforms as well as stock market portfolio. So here is an overview, and you can see definitely the effect of the virus crisis right here. So we'll see just in a moment that it's mainly due to the stock markets having fluctuations. However, my income from all my investments, you can't really see that there was, like a slowdown in the accumulated income. So I'm nearly now at nearly 42,000 euros generated since I started to invest a few years back. Let's start with crowdlending. So I will have an overview here. So there was a little dip as well. This is not because I lost money due to the virus or anything. I just took money out of some platforms because of what I just told you before. I'm moving money out at the moment from platforms to redistribute this money, to really put back the money into a smaller amount of platforms that I will keep in my portfolio in the future. So nothing really much to report here. You can see that this curve here of gain is a little bit flattening at the end because, as I said, I've been moving money out of some platforms. But yeah, on this front, nothing really to report because of the virus, right? It's really been all going smooth on the platforms I invested on. So there was a few platforms that announced that they will slow down the repayment of some loans to really give some air to borrowers. And a lot of platforms also communicated really well during the whole crisis. And that's the one I will keep in my portfolio. So I will have links to my favorite platforms. And the one I will keep actually in my portfolio in the future just below this video. So make sure to check this out as well. Let's now dive into stocks. So here you will see again this big hit. In terms of value, right? So you can see here it's directly due to the crisis. However, in terms of dividends, you can see that this curve actually grew a little bit, right, during the past months. So that's just because most of the companies I invested in on the stock market actually followed on their dividend strategy and just continue to raise their dividends. So I'm not saying there is not going to be any dividend cuts. A lot of companies actually already announced such dividend cuts, but it's mostly companies in, for example, the airlines, plane manufacturers, all the companies that are in the travel and tourism industry. That's not companies I invested in a lot. I have a lot of tech companies, as I will show you in a moment, inside my portfolio analysis, but I was not really touched at the moment by those dividend cuts. Let's now go a bit deeper into the portfolio using a feature that I recently introduced inside TrackInvest. So let's now go a bit deeper using this new feature here that is called Portfolio Analysis. So that's a new feature of TrackInvest that I recently introduced. It's a paid feature, part of the new TrackInvest plans. So if you are using TrackInvest, you want to dive more into that, you want to use this feature, make sure to check the upgrade options inside your account. So it really allows to get more information, more data about your account, your investments. So let's go first into Combine. So you can see that now I have like a nearly perfect distribution between crowdlending and between stocks. So that's quite good. Let's go to the stocks only. So that's my diversification in terms of company. I have quite a bit of diversification here, and that's by industries. So you can see that, for example, I have a lot of tech. That's tech, for example. That's also tech here with services. So you can see that I have some real estate as well inside this portfolio. So here it doesn't really makes me any problem to be really diversified because I don't really need to track all those things, right? I can have many companies in my stock portfolio. It's really easy to manage because it's all under one account at my stockbroker. So that's really easy to manage compared to crowdlending platforms. So I will not be reducing in the future the number of positions I have in my portfolio. And here you have the same as before, but in terms of income, and also it indicates me the future growth of my portfolio in terms of income. So it's quite useful data to really see what's going on in the portfolio. Let's now see the same, but with crowdlending. So you can see that I have a lot of different platforms here: Mintos, HouseCrowd, Property Partner, Propertymove still being the biggest ones. So this one, Mintos, mainly on the consumer loan space, and more here I have platforms in the real estate space. You can see that here as well. Now you can really see what part of your portfolio is more like in the consumer loan space and what is more like in real estate type crowdlending platforms. So you can see that I'm quite happy with that because I really like real estate more and more because it's actually something tangible, right? compared to just loans. So I'm really happy with this graph, and most probably I will invest more into the real estate crowdlending space in the future. Just wanted to point out something else before I move on from there. Definitely this will change in the future, as I mentioned before, as I go into a smaller list of assets inside my crowdlending portfolio. Just one thing I wanted to mention, there's also this investing ideas feature inside ThreatInvest now. For example, at the moment, there is a lot of undervalued stocks on the market, right? That's not necessarily companies that pay dividends. That's basically all companies that are tracked by ThreatInvest. And there are really great opportunities at the moment due to the crisis to buy stocks at a very cheap price compared to before the crisis. And you can also subscribe to this list from ThreatInvest, so you can follow get updates whenever, let's say, a new stock is added to the list or one is being removed. So that's also a cool feature that we recently introduced. So you can really fastly get stocks ideas for your portfolio, know what to invest in, and also get automated alerts based on what you are interested in. Alright, so this is all I wanted to show you inside this portfolio update for May 2020. I really hope it was useful for you. If there is anything else you would like to see in future updates, maybe more details about the platform, maybe more advice on stocks, let me know by just leaving a comment under this video. So that being said, thank you again for watching this video, and I will see you in the next one.